Hello friends, it's your girl E, your favorite purple haired notary, and we're back with another video. And this video is going to be about how much money you can make as a mobile notary. Now, this is going to vary depending on your state. Some states have restrictions on how much you can charge, your travel fee, XYZ. I'm based in Jersey and we don't have travel fee restrictions. So that's where the real bread is made with the travel fee. So now, of course, like there's a lot of factors that come into how much money you're going to make because your marketing efforts, what services are you providing, because all those prices vary. Now if we're talking general notary work, which I do highly recommend starting with the general notary work versus like starting as an LSA, a loan signing agent, notary signing agent, doing the real estate docs. One, because that if you want to just like start out the gate and like making money, like you got your commission, all the like basic notary things, you can go out and notarize in these streets. Yes, you will start to get like inquiries. I have a friend who he became a notary and he was doing small jobs and getting the calls, and then like bigger things, people started inquiring about like loan signings and power of attorneys, and then like you know got a little afraid of being out here. So, definitely start out with the general notary work, um, because you can just really do that out the gate. Um, but anywho, yes, the real money is definitely in your travel fee. So again, it depends on where you are. Like if you're in a more suburban area, your pricing might be a little bit different. I'm not sure. I think rural areas can charge more because how far are you? What if the closest notary is like 30 miles away? Pay that bread, or we can do it online. Like that's usually kind of like also like how I can keep the sale versus them finding another notary. I have two options. I can meet you in person, which that starts out for me at 125, and sometimes that's a little steep for people, or we can do it online. And it's usually about like half the price. So people will choose that option, and I still get the deal, I still get the sale. When you look at it like that, I still got to help someone out even if they choose the remote option. And then sometimes my remote price is still what it depends. If it's general notary work, my remote price is $45. Um and I have to pay the platform, so those fees come out. So we do also have to take those things into consideration. Like I said, if you are somewhere where you can just like park up, my price is that price is where I service is the city area. So often I have to pay for parking, and it depends on what I'm being called for. I remember one time I think there were 90 pages of documents. Another time it was 60 pages of documents. So I was there for 45 minutes to an hour, and I had to pay for parking. Both times I had to park in a parking garage. So out of what I made, $20 is already gone. And then if we include gas, more often than not, I think like mileage, gas, like that's another $20. So if we take out from my like 125, I've already 20 went to parking, so I made 100. If we take out gas, that's another approximate $20 out for gas. So I really am like pocketing 80 if we look at that. So if I started at $40, what am I making? Which I did also start at $40. And when I was at $40 when I first started, because I was like, oh, okay, like it's $2. So my travel fee, it's gonna be like 30 whatever. That's my travel fee. And once I started seeing what parking looks like and gas, because gas prices are always going up, I'm like, I'm only making like $10. Yeah, no thanks. So for me to make a better profit, I I had to raise my prices. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And so I think it's so funny that when I was at $40, I didn't get that many inquiries. I didn't get that many calls. I think now if I was $40, people call me crazy because anytime I look up, I'm usually like top on the list on Google when you search a notary near me in the area that I service. I usually pop up first, and I always ask like, "Oh, how'd you find me?" Sometimes I'm referred, which we love a good referral, and other times people just Google it, and I was the first one that popped up on Google, so they called me. It's me and then UPS. So I love that I pop up before UPS. But more often than not, yeah, if you want to pay UPS prices, go ahead. I know that they barely have appointments because people tell me that all the time. UPS didn't have any appointments, or the notary is not in, or the notary doesn't notarize this type of document. So that's where I come in. And yeah, so of course, depends on the volume, things like that. How many calls are you getting a day, week, marketing, all of those things matter. But some of like my best performing days, it's usually like a Friday. I think a lot of people are home on Fridays. That's usually like a stay at home day. People are hybrid now. So I think Friday is a big day that most people tend to be working from home. So Friday is a huge day for me, and I get phone calls all the time. And on my good heavy days of notary work, I've made $500 in a day. So it can vary if it's two loan closings in general notary work. I've had that back to back closings, and then something that's general notary work, $500. I also had not to re I earlier this week I made $500 off just like one appointment, and that was just because one client was overseas. There was documents were forgotten, so I had to go back and service and finish it up, and then everyone couldn't be there this time, so we had to do remote for two of the signers. I had to meet the other two, so that was a good $500 day off essentially one appointment. um so you can make some good money, depending on like what your services are, what you're charging. Please check your state laws, because like I said, some states do have restrictions on travel, where here in the Jersey area you do not. So make sure that you are out here marketing in these streets. I'm in a high traffic area, so I also include that. Like, I think about my travel time in my pricing. Even though somewhere might be 15 minutes away, depending on the time of day that you're calling me, it could take me an hour to get there because traffic is insane. So think about that when you're including your prices. Also, like I said, it depends on what type of documents are you doing. Are you getting called for? Is it a loan closing? A loan closing, and depending on how fast you are, if you're getting it directly from title or signing services, it can start from anywhere from 75. I don't really take it at 75 anymore because again, I I live in a high traffic area. Parking, it's a city area. 75 just it doesn't do it for me because again, I have to pay for parking. So I take minimum $100 from signing services and up. And if you're getting it from title, then that's about 200 to 250 per closing. Depends on your relationship with title, what they charge. Definitely like ask what they're charging. So you can make $200 in an hour for those longer closings. But when I get called for regular what's the word that I'm looking for? General notarizations, when I'm doing that, that takes like 15 minutes. So like I said, I started at like 125, take off for the parking, blah blah. But I started at 125, so I make 125, and if it's not chatty, most of the time people who use my services are often like busy business people. So we're not even talking. They might be on a Zoom call, a phone meeting, and I'm just there like, hi, taking the ID, and then like in between their phone call, have them raise their right hand. Do you understand what you're signing? You willingly signing it? Yes, they say yes. Sign my journal, and then I'm out. I'm there for like 15 minutes. So it's really not that long because again, a lot of people who tend to call me and use my services are those really busy business people. So think about the type of notarizations, the services that you're offering. I've spoken about apostilles a little bit. I might go do a little further in-depth video on apostilles. And my standard apostille service starts at right now at 350, and if we're talking express, that's 650. So you have one a day, which, and that's also happened. I've had $1,000 day too, so I'm like, I need more of those. I've made $1,000 in a day as a notary as well, with, like I said, general notary work, loan closings, and having like an apostille. So I've had like 3 appointments in a day. I've had 2 apostilles in a day, and that's sexy. That's, I've had a few $1,000 days. I would like to make that more consistent, but yeah, I love making $1,000 in a day. So think about the services that you're offering. They do require to for you to have the extra education. So if you want to provide those services, please make sure that you are educating yourself on how to properly provide these services, because you are the expert here, and you want to make sure you look like one when you are in front of your clients. It will get you referrals, and you can talk about your experiences to also help get more, like I said, more referrals. So yeah. So you can make quite a grip of money as a notary. Again, it depends on your services that you're offering, your marketing efforts, which I strongly recommend. Google My Business. I've seen Google My Business acting funny with people, but also don't fret. If you have the bread to start doing some ads, the ads would help. But I definitely got a lot of my business from networking with real estate professionals, because I started in the loan closing space, the real estate space. So I network with a lot of real estate professionals, let them know the convenience that I can provide them and their clients. So a lot of investors use me often as well. And like I said, you want to make sure that you're an expert and you are presenting your work as neat as possible, and that you're a good look, because people are often impressed by that and will recommend you to someone else and really see the value in what you're providing. You're not just a notary at UPS that's not really doing anything and doesn't respect the commission, if you could say. But I do, like, I love being a notary. I have a t-shirt, all the things. I love being a notary, and I love providing the service and being of help and of value to people. So definitely think about that when you are doing your pricing strategies. Some notaries, because when I was looking at what to charge, some notaries have has like mileage calculators to help you calculate what you should charge. I have a big range of where I'm going, so I kind of leave it like that. If we are now like out of like my service area, that's when I would likely include mileage, but most of the time people are in my service area. So I serve 3 counties, and I don't I don't really upcharge if you're not in my county. I'm not really upcharging, because most of the counties that I'm in are still within like 15 miles, and so usually going there and back, I'm usually traveling 30 miles like max for the whole service. So take that into consideration. You can take that into consideration, make yourself like a little calculator when you're doing it. But I didn't want to take that long. Anytime that I got phone calls, I'm often like in my car, I'm in the office, I might be doing real estate things, and I needed to be quick. So I just really needed like a flat rate and call it a day. I couldn't do okay, I'm going to calculate it by this. That was too much for me. But if that's what you want to do, baby, like, then that's what you do. It's your business. Do what works best for you. Um, so yeah, that you can make quite a bit of making being a notary, but again, make sure that you are getting the proper education. We are now offering mentorship, asking questions, because I know that's something that's very hard for people, is finding someone that they can ask questions, especially that services their area. Because when I think about the notary training and questions, and I've I've supported a lot of notaries with their content, their courses, their templates that they have, and not there's not a lot of people on the East Coast, I feel, really doing this. I've gotten a lot of my training and feedback and asking questions to notaries that are not even from here. Atlanta, shout out to Mark Wills, he's in California. um and that's where I've gotten a lot of that. I don't see a lot of people doing, of course, again, like, there's Facebook groups of someone you can ask directly. There's not a lot of that. So we're not offering that. I'm going to link that below. I also just created my first, I mean, I've used it for myself, but now I want to offer it to other notaries that may need. I I have tons of like templates, and I'm going to start like posting and selling these templates. So the first one that I am releasing is an intake form, because that was something that I really needed once I started making phone calls. I'm like, what are the questions that I need to ask? What is the information that I need to have? I want to make sure I have everything. And I'm also going to link that below. So if you need some sort of intake form, that's going to be down below. If you are looking for some notary mentorship, some guidance out here, I'm going to link that below. Make sure you're also continuing your education, reading on notary laws in your area, staying up to date. And yeah, that's it. You can really make some money out here being a notary, but it all depends on you and your efforts. It's nothing just comes to you. I truly wish that it did. Side note, like a story where I'm also a real estate agent. I had like a owner called me to help him with the property. I wish every day was like that, but it's not. It was only there because I had a listing in the area right near his, and he called me. If that was another agent, he would have just called that agent. It's not that easy every day, but yes, make sure you're out here marketing, putting your face out here in these streets, letting people know who you are and what you do. And trust me, the phone's gonna be ringing and you're gonna be making money. All right. Thanks again. If you have any questions, please, 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 please feel free to ask, like, subscribe, share with your friends. You know what's up. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone has a good day. Bye.